Okay, I'm going to show you guys a cool little secret, and that's going to make life a lot easier. Um, so here's what I have written here. We know this equation pretty well. Fin times din equals fout times doubt. Absolutely, we know that. What if I were to tell you I could rearrange this, and I want to prove it to you. So my first step is I divided both sides by fin. And then if you look down here, what we end up with, fin cancels on the left, and we end up with din equals fout times doubt. That's what we end up with. Din equals fout times doubt divided by fin. If you follow my math, you can see how I got that. Then what if I wanted to rearrange it some more? I could divide each side by doubt, and notice I did that here. That ends up with doubt canceling. And what I do to one side, I have to do with the other. So on the left side, it's din over doubt. So basically, I end up with din over doubt equals fout over fin. Now, I'm hoping that that looks pretty familiar. What is din over doubt? You've seen that before, right? Isn't that IMA? And what is fout over fin? You've seen that before. That's AMA, because that's why you're recognizing it, because that's exactly what it is. It's IMA and AMA. So stay with me for a minute. And what if I took that IMA and that AMA, and let's just change the wording ever so slightly. What if we just decided to call those mechanical advantage, just MA, okay? So on the left side, if din over doubt is IMA, or we're going to rename it MA, then isn't that the same as saying mechanical advantage equals fout over fin? Back up here. If din over doubt is MA, then MA equals fout over fin. And that's how I got, that's how I got this. MA equals fout over fin. Or I could do the same thing on the right side, right? If fout over fin, if that is AMA, well then why can't I say MA equals din over doubt? So what I'm saying is this thing as saying this, and that is the same thing as saying this. All of these are just kind of a different way to say something, to say the same equation. Now here's why I went through all of that. Let me clean this up a little bit. Here's why we care about that. Because sometimes in an equation, what if they just gave you mechanical advantage, and they gave you maybe din, and they asked you to solve for doubt? Or they give you mechanical advantage, they give you fin, and they ask you to solve for doubt. That could very well happen, and we actually see that quite a bit. So let's do an example. So here's an inclined plane, and what if the question said something like, an inclined plane is 30 feet long, it has a mechanical advantage of 4, how high is the ramp going to reach? So there's a lot in that question. It said the ramp was 30 feet long. Well, again, boy, those inputs and outputs are really important. You need to know that that 30 feet is your input distance. And then it gave us a mechanical advantage of 4, and it didn't say what is the doubt. It said how tall is the ramp going to be. You need to know that that means our output distance or our doubt. So there's everything that it gave us, and the equation I just showed you, this is a great way to solve for that. MA equals din over doubt. Well, why didn't I use MA equals fout over fin? Well, look at the picture. There are no forces. They didn't give me any forces. That's what led me to that equation. Hope that makes sense to you. So let's move on. Let's continue. So I have my givens. I have my unknowns, or my one unknown. I'm solving for doubt. That drove me to my equation. And now here comes the easy part, substitute and solve. Well, let's go ahead and do that. My MA is 4, equals, and my din is 30 feet. And I don't know my doubt, so we're going to write doubt. So this is where we're going to do some cross multiplication. Some folks are great at this, some folks need a little refresher. So when we cross multiply, what we pretend is that this number over here is divided by 1. That helps us visualize it a lot, because any whole number is really divided by 1, right? 4 divided by 1 is 4. And then we're going to cross multiply. And I do not mean cross multiply this way. That is not what cross multiplication means. We're going to go from top to bottom this way and then this way. It does not matter the order that you do this. So let's just pick a side. I'm going to do this 30 first. So 30 feet times 1, of course, is 30 feet. Don't forget to bring your units. And then we do equals. So equals, now let's do the other side. 4 times doubt is 4 doubt. 4 doubt. Okay? Now this is starting to look like a pretty simple equation to solve. So we're trying to get doubt by itself. So then that means we need to divide both sides by 4. Divide both sides by 4. Grab my calculator. 7.5. So we get 7.5, and we are feet, right? Nothing canceled, equals doubt. And that might look a little goofy to you. And of course, that is the same as doubt equals 7.5 feet. Just depends on which side you started on when you did your cross multiplication. It doesn't matter. So just to review, these two equations right here, these are super duper important, this one and this one. And what they allow you to do is, when given a mechanical advantage, and you have to be given at least one other variable like din, you can solve for doubt, or if you're given fin, you could solve for fout. And then we cross multiplied. We did all of our algebra correctly. That's a great little trick to use.